had this thing out today. Put some miles on the engine. Whew. Goosebumps, yes. Got to change the oil on it tomorrow. Got about 30 miles on it, so I want to flush out the oil and go from there. But I have so much tuning to do. But God, this thing just pulls. Anyways, all right. That's all. I'm going to bed. It's like 2:30.
Well, I'm pretty sure the inside of my fucking engine is nice and sparkly. Yeah, the entire filter is full of nice chunks of fucking something. Pretty sure when you open up an oil filter, it shouldn't look like that. Less than 30 miles on this fucking engine, and it's coming back out. Don't know what the fuck happened, but pretty fucking sure your engine oil shouldn't fucking look like gold metal flake. My engine developed a knock. What sounded like a knock. I thought it was detonation. And the more I just took it out tonight, not even getting on it, literally just running it. And yeah, I drained this bronze colored shit, but the oil is completely full of just shit. I'm so fucking done.
So this is a frustration I have right now. And there's no point in trying to point fingers and go, oh, somebody didn't do this, somebody did that. I'm trying to understand where my failure mode comes from. And I'll find out more this weekend when I pull my engine back out of the car. But anyways, so about 3 weeks ago, I got my car, got the engine in, got it running, took it out for a drive. Everything was good. Everything was great for about, 15 miles, 18 miles. And noticed a small knocking noise that started to develop. And it was just enough that I kind of, it's like, some don't sound right. So I took the car and drove home and noticed the knocking noise was on D-cell. It was just kind of present, but would go away at idle. I figured, okay, detonation, maybe, I don't know. Lunchtime. But I'm trying to come to terms with what destroyed a fresh engine. And then I have, of course, the Cleveland community. It's full of great guys, very knowledgeable. But then I have people saying, well, you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have done this. And I'm trying to understand, okay, guys, if paperwork I get from these guys says, okay, hey, you need to run VR 2150 oil with the cam. And then my engine builder says you need to run VR 2150 oil because that's what he runs in all of his rollers. Because you want to keep oil on the parts so that way it's not dry on startup. But then I have very knowledgeable guys in the community saying, no, you should have run 30-weight break-in oil. And I'm like, it's not a flat tap. You don't need to run it. And starting to go out on the internet, and the internet's just like everything else. There's so much conflicting information on what you should do and you shouldn't do when breaking in an engine. Meanwhile, I have my engine that I have to tear back out of my car because the bottom end, it's pooched. I don't know what happened. I don't know and what sucks is I don't have the tolerances written down I would have had everything written down, but I don't have the tolerances. I don't know what the clearances were on my bearings. I'm frankly kind of pissed off that I don't have this information, but getting angry isn't going to solve anything. I need to get clinical and figure out, okay, this is what failed. So anyways, back to what I was saying. So oil, bought a cutter. Your oil filter should not look like that. Should not have a bunch of shiny chunks of metal in the oil. And this is oil that has 30 miles on it. Well, the problem is engine oil should not have, what looks like gold dust in it. So obviously I have a problem. And again, I'm not pointing fingers, because the guy that built my engine is very knowledgeable. He's been building engines for 42 years. So he was rather shocked to hear that my engine decided to do what it did. I pulled the distributor out. People are like, oh, well, you shredded your cam gear. No, I used a steel melanized gear from Holly. And it's, sorry, you can't. But I mean, it's got the normal break-in pattern on it. I use break-in lube on it. But and you can see here, the teeth are not chewed up. And the contact pattern was where it needed to be. So I don't know. Sorry. But you can see the contact pattern, and it's across the entire tooth, like where it needs to be. So I don't know. I am at a loss myself as far as what could it be? And I'm pissed because it was just running. Oh, I was just so depressed. I'll put in a little snippet here of after I drained the oil and I started just cussing and yelling. I was just like, what in the F? F-bombs ensued. I mean, the filter did its job. It just sucks that it had to have done what it did. But I'm at kind of a loss what would have done this. But I get people telling me, oh, well, it was your bearing clearances, or it was this, or it was that. And I sometimes know enough to be dangerous. I am by no means an expert, but I'm trying to understand what was the actual failure mode. If I followed what I was supposed to do, why did a fresh build with a roller cam setup fail? And it wasn't the cam. Most of the time you hear about fresh engine builds, guys use a flat type of camshaft, it wipes a lobe. I had no noise from the top end of my engine. This thing was just running amazing. And that's what it just... That's what just kills me right now. I had let the car warm up for probably 5 or 10 minutes and then took it out for a drive because I wanted to seat the rings in. And no smoke, just running great. And then the knock. And like I've told people that I'm friends with, I'm frankly, that Sunday earlier this week, or last weekend, whatever, I always call it last weekend, but, Sunday, last weekend, 6 days ago, 5 days ago, whatever, it really mentally screwed me up because I have spent a lot of time piecing this car back together to get the original Cobra Jet running in it. And I have gone through a lot of money to build this engine. More money than I ever planned. My original rebuild went completely sideways because some stuff that I wanted done didn't get done. And I just... I'm at a loss as far as what could have caused a fresh rebuild on the bottom end to fail. I'll find out. I'm going to tear it apart. I'm just royally irritated, but I'm just trying to figure out where I went wrong. All right, so November 16th, and I've been really I've been in a funk since my engine went kerplunk. Let's just be honest here. I've not been... My frame of mind has not been real peachy. I have not been real cheerful about the fact that my engine did what it did. Trying to understand the reason why, and I kind of literally walked away from my car after changing the oil and then having this. You know, it's, yeah, all the metal settling to the bottom of this thing. Oh, it's just, you know, it's not a good sign, you know. The oil is full of nastiness. So yeah. So anyways, I'm basically mentally I'm upset that it happened because it cost me a lot of money. Or it's going to cost me a lot of money because I'm going to have to go through it. And I'm at the point where I'm going to end up taking this and I'm going to... waiting to hear back, but I may be loading my car up tonight or tomorrow, and I may be doing a bonsai run up to a buddy's shop and let them pull the engine out, just pay him to do it, because I'm frustrated right now. That's the best summation. Somewhere along the line there was a mistake made, and I don't know if it was in the assembly. I don't know if it was in the machine work. Not sure if it's something I could have possibly done, because I had issues with the timing being backwards and having issues with the engine backfiring because I couldn't get the damn timing dialed in. But I've done a bunch of reading, and I mean, the internet's the internet. I'm just... It really burns. It's just, it's aggravating, but getting angry and yelling and screaming and pointing fingers, it don't solve shit. It just doesn't. So, anyways, back to where I'm at. I'm trying to connect the dots on what failed, fix it, and then hopefully prevent it from happening again. Now, I put a lot of time. I had a lot of money invested. I spent the money, I put money in on the right parts. I didn't buy cheap stuff. To resurrect this engine, you have to spend the money on the right parts. That's why I went to a company like Cam Research and got a roller cam from them. And I did what I was supposed to, I thought. But then I have the internet community being the internet community, and a couple of guys chimed in and very knowledgeable in the field, and they know these engines. Well, they said because it was a roller engine, I used oil that was too heavy, but yet the cam company and the builder are saying use 20W50 VR1, so that's what I used. But then there's guys saying, oh no, you needed to use like 10W30 and you needed to use pin right and you needed to use this and that and everything else. And I'm just like, I went off of what I was told to do. And something evidently starved the bottom end of oil. That's the only thing I can figure out. I haven't had the heart, honestly, after this thing did what it did. I have not had the heart to deal with the engine. I literally have not had. I was so basically jaded, bitter, I don't know. I was pissed. Let's just, for lack of a better term, I was upset over this. Because I put so much time and effort into fixing this engine to have the bottom. I expected, okay, camshaft failure. I expect, okay, hey, if I was running a flat tappet camshaft, there's a certain amount of risk in this modern day and age because the core cams are garbage. The materials come from China. Material's too soft. It's not heat treated properly. The lifters are garbage. They're not being made correctly. But parts can still fail. That's what happened here. I'm upset because I spent money and I just assumed everybody was on the same page, but here we are. So anyways, where I'm at, emotionally, mentally, financially, I'm fucked because I'm pissed because it's going to have to come out. I'm going to have to spend the money and deal with it. And I'm at the point of like, I had to walk away from the car because I was just that upset. I do this stuff for fun. It's supposed to be for fun, and it's great. When the car's running, you take it out for a drive, you bang through the gears, and you just feel the car put you into the freaking back seat. And it's just, man, I don't know, man. It's just, it's just heartbreaking. Just like, what did I do to deserve this? And it's just a random luck of the draw. So anyways, enough of my whining, crying, and bitching about it, because it's not going to solve shit. I am out here because I'm going to pull the valve cover off and see what's under the valve cover. I'm just going to pull the passenger side because the driver's side is more of a bitch to get off. It's a bitch to get the driver's side off. Let's just not even make a joke because of the brake booster back there with these Blue Thunder valve covers. It's yeah. I mean, even on this side, it's kind of a bitch, but I can use let's see, I'll grab it out of here. I can use this guy to go down. Lighting in here with the shit. I can just barely get that last one. It's just these socketed cap screws are, because my car has the factory air on it and I'm still using the factory air because I don't have the money right now. This rebuild, I'm pissed because, I was planning on buying a brand new wiring harness for the car in the spring and rewiring the car. Well, that's out now. And then, there it is. Yeah. And she's loose. Yep. But, and then I was planning on going to like Restomod Air, getting rid of my freaking factory AC and going with a Restomod Haymaker S unit. But that's going to be a while. God, and I still want to clean up all that freaking wiring. I cannot stand that clusterfuck of wiring. I hate it. But, you know, it's like everything else. Run a new wiring for the freaking alternator harness or for the alternator, and then you got wiring for the starter, and then you have all the wiring going back into the car for the freaking power. I hate all of this shit. Oh, yeah, then there's stereo power going to the back of the car. I absolutely hate all of this shit here. I want to tuck it in back there. It's like on this side, I tuck the wiring. But anyways, ADHD, I'm squirrel. Ooh, shiny. Anyways, so yeah, I am going to pull the cover off and see what I've got. More for later. Yeah, see, that's another thing. People were asking me, you know, what gear I was running. This gear is what I got from Holly, specifically to run a roller cam. I don't see any adverse wear on it. The contact pattern on the teeth, I don't know if you can see it here good enough in the light, but I mean, the contact pattern is literally pretty much even all the way across the entire breadth of the tooth, which is what you want. Oh, drop that back in the hole, because of course the distributor's way off now. That way at least the timing will be set back. Not that it matters, because the engine's not going to be started up again, because it's full bar. It is major foobar. And if you don't know what foobar is, kids, I suggest you look it up. It's just the entire process, man. I had one weekend. The sun shone a little bit brighter. Let's see, what did Titus say? Where the sun shined, 6 foot, tan, blonde, wearing white pants, and I'm a very pretty man. And I realized I'm in jail. I'm 6 foot, blonde, wearing white pants, and I'm a very pretty man. Yeah. What does that have to do with anything? Nothing, because it really doesn't. It's just, you know, 6 p.m. Had a good day before 6 p.m. before I got beat to shit by my engine. Yes, my rambling of an insane Andrew. So, let's see. You know, it's so easy to want to just get pissed, yell, and scream at stuff because it didn't go my way. Let's see. I realize I'll just take and leave that whole thing disconnected. Let's see what the moment of truth brings us, kids. Oh, God. Do I even want to know? Honestly, no. The inside of the valve cover looks clean. But let's see what follows, shall we? Let's see what path this takes us down. I need a light. Let's see. Well, there's not big chunks of metal up here at the top, so I guess that's something. The oil's clean up here. It doesn't look nasty. Yeah, now the oil is... That's crazy. The oil up here at the top end of the engine, it's clean. Did not look like what drained out of the oil pan. Yeah, you can see it. You can see the residue from the main bearings from the bearings. I'm assuming it's the fucking mains being chewed up. Yeah, no, there's... Well, that answered my questions. So yeah, I mean the top end of the engine. Yeah, I'll need to send these back to Harlan Sharp, have them completely gone through. $130. I'm not even gonna question it. I'm just gonna have them rebuild these. Yeah. Okay. Well. Yeah, it is what it is, man. There's no getting around this basic fact. No getting around it. Yeah, so basically there's just, I mean, the oil filter did its job, but the problem is there's still up at the top end of the engine in the little crevices up here. You can just see it where it's like darkened spots, like here between the two lifters where there's a pool of oil back there. Same thing up here in the corner. Down here, you can just see it in the oil. That, I mean, that shouldn't be that. The oil should be looking like maybe like that. But that is because the bearing material got washed through. I don't know. I mean, this block, I had this block hot tanked. It got shot blasted and then hot tanked. Probably, oh hell, it's been, I want to say I had that block hot tanked probably, I don't know, hell, it's been at least probably 6 to 7 years ago. But supposedly they re-hot tanked the block again. So I don't know. The only thing I wonder is supposedly the passages had all been cleared out on the engine and it had been gone through, and I don't know. I don't really know. I'm at a loss. All I know is right now I'm stuck with a very expensive paperweight in my garage right now because something got missed or something just failed. Welcome to the modern age of hot rodding. Just wish it wasn't so fucking expensive. Just, god damn. I'd be lucky if we can reuse the cam and the lifters. But supposedly they can be pulled apart, cleaned, ultrasonic cleaned, and put back together. So, I don't know. Find out. Gotta find out, because that was $1,700 for the cam and lifters. So, yeah. That's all for now. I haven't had enough shit for one night. I'm going to button this back together, but I'm not going to bother filming it. So, that's all for now. Go from there. Well, had a phone call with friend Glenn, Dr. Z, and made up my mind, and I say we. I'm loading up my darling midgety wife, and tomorrow, after I get done with my week at work, got about 2.5 hours left on this week. I'm gonna clock out roughly about 10 a.m. and then I think, as the saying goes, from our good friends at KTBF, I'm basically keeping the bitch floored, and we're rolling to Detroit, Michigan to go up to Dr. Z's Rod Shop, where Glenn and the boys will take and fix my ailing engine, and I will have them do the dirty work of pulling it out. I've got to do a few things tonight to button her up, so that way I can get the GTS ready to be loaded up on a trailer tomorrow morning after I get done working. We're going over with Johnny tonight to go grab my car trailer, and then I gotta button a few things up on this, and then away we go. Gonna highball it up to Michigan, about a 12-hour run, see if I can get up there, hopefully meet up with Glenn Saturday morning, and basically, cue the Eastbound and Down Bandit theme song, and that's where I'm at. All in the name of all in the name of this freaking car.